I wanted to do a name association with some of those incredible actors that you worked in Potter with.
Okay.
Continue to work with. First thing that comes to mind when you hear their name: Emma Watson,
Smart.
Rupert Grint,
Funny.
Maggie Smith,
Sharp as a knife in a wonderful way. Sorry, but like, yeah, she's like tough and like that quick wit. Like, what was it I said to her one morning? I was like, Maggie, did you see this thing in The Sun? And she said, no, I don't read The Sun. It's like, oh God, yeah, of course you don't. Put down. Like,
Alan Rickman,
generous.
Richard Harris.
The first thing that comes to mind is Phoenix, I suppose, because of there was one moment where Fawkes, the animatronic Phoenix in the second film, the guys that were operating it, Richard thought it was a real bird. and it had a camera in it, so he would go up to it, and the guys outside would see him, and so they would start making it react. And for the entire scene, always thought it was a real bird.
Michael Gambon.
Oh, out of control, funny, just mad in a great way. Again, just like anarchic. That's what I say for Michael.
Did you, speaking of Dumbledore, did you find out that Dumbledore was gay when the rest of us did, or was that something that was discussed?
No, it was no. It was when the rest of the world did as well, and we were like, and of course, like Michael was delighted by the news because he was really camping it up around set then after that. Yeah, I remember that, and I remember the hilarious reaction. My favourite reaction of. There was some, I guess, super homophobic dude who'd had a massive Dumbledore tattoo on his back, who was like really angry about it, which I was like, yeah, that's great.
When Richard Harris passed away in 2002, you 13 years old, I guess. Was that probably your first experience with someone you knew who died?
Yeah, it really was. I remember it was like devastating. I was so sad. And I think you're pretty much right. It was. I'd never known a person that had died before. So yeah, it was crazy. But I feel like looking back, it's one of those things where you just have to just go, I'm so lucky to have worked with him, to be able to say, you know, and it's an amazing thing to be able to say now. But you know, at the end of my life, when the films he made are going to be true, like parts of history, a lot of them. It's just going to be an incredible thing to be able to say that I worked with him and that he was just lovely and to me, and you know, I've spent some time with you know, we're not like close, but his granddaughter Ella, who's also like a wonderful person, and like his whole family was really incredibly sweet to me at that time. You know, I was involved a little bit in a memorial service for him, and they were just incredibly, just kind and warm.
Back to the names. Helena Bonham Carter.
Nuts and fabulous. Like I love her.
Ralph Fiennes.
Genuinely intimidating. I remember like when I was 15 doing scenes with Ray for the first time was like, that was he was even scarier than Alan was at first. Like because Alan Rickman was super intimidating to start off with as well. But then you sort of like, you get in there, but Rafe is, genuinely scared me for a few years.
So he was perfectly cast.
He was
for
perfectly
the role.
cast. Yeah, absolutely. I'd like to do like I imagine it would be a very different experience one day if we were doing like a light comedy together. But yeah, it was interesting and again a hell of a learning experience to work with him.